Hi, welcome to Let's Create Crochet channel. Today we are going to be making these reusable makeup remover rounds. They can also be done as a simple circle, which I'll do in another video, but this one uses the puff stitch, which makes them really nice and soft. Great for applying cleansers, toners, moisturisers, or removing makeup with makeup remover or coconut oil, and then just pop them in the wash and reuse them again. So most important thing when making your makeup remover rounds or anything like that, soap pouches or anything that's going to go in the washing machine, is what actual yarn you choose. You're better off with something natural like cotton, bamboo. These are some of my favourites. So I've got Sugar and Cream, Drops Paris, and then this one is slightly thicker. This is an Aran from DMC Natura. I'll pop a link in the description box for where you can buy those. Loads and loads of colour choices. Then you'll need your crochet hook. Depending on which yarn you choose and how tight or loose you crochet, usually a 4.5, a 4 or maybe even a 5 depending on what you pick. And if you're not sure, usually the yarn that you choose will show you. So this one, for example, says a 4mm hook, whereas this one suggests 5 or a US 8H, and then this one, there you go, is also a 5. So this one is in cream, but to make it easier to see on the video, I'm going to use a brighter colour. I think we'll start with this blue one. So don't need that one, and then you'll need your needle for weaving in your ends and your scissors. So I'm going to start off by doing a magic circle. I'll show you how to do that in case you're not sure. If you don't like using the magic circle, you can do a chain 4 and join and crochet into the centre. So to start off with, I'll show you the magic circle. So if you get the short end of your 2 fingers, go round the back and cross over, so you've got an X, turn over, just catch the long piece of yarn. So this is the part attached to your ball. Then with your hook facing down, go under the first one, over the back one, pull it through and twist. If you keep hold of it, you can slide your fingers out and you've got your magic circle there. So this is the bit then in the centre. Just chain 1 you were going to crochet with. If you don't like the magic circle, you can do it this way, which is create your slip knot, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, join to the first chain that you made, so the 4th chain from your hook, slip stitch, slip stitch, and then you have to separate it slightly, and you would then crochet into the centre that way. Do it whichever way you prefer. So I personally prefer the magic circle because it's easier to pull it tight if you've done your chain loose to start with. Then you're going to crochet into this part here, and then you'll pull the short end tight. So to start off with, for your puff stitches, you want to chain another 3. 1, 2, 3. This will then give you the height of your puff stitch. So to do a puff, you're going to yarn over, go through and pull up a loop, and then pull it so that it's the height of your chain. So now you've got 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, through, pull up a loop, make it the same length. Got 5 loops on the hook, yarn over, through, pick up your loop, make it the same length. So you've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you're going to yarn over, turn your hook facing downwards, that'll make it easy to get through all of these loops. I'm going to pull through all 7 loops on the hook. Okay, and then chain 1. Pull it slightly smaller. Okay, and then the same again. So you're going to do 6 of these in total. So if you're happy with that, then feel free to fast forward the video, but I'll show you another one. So yarn over and through and pull up. Now on the first one, your chain counted as part of your puff. It doesn't on this one, so we're going to yarn over, pull through 4 times now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and again yarn over, pull through all the loops. Try not to crochet too tightly, and then chain 1, and that just finishes off the puff stitch. You can pull it tighter if it's hard to work in, but don't pull it all the way closed. So again, 1, 2, 3, oh, dropped a stitch there. Sometimes it's easier if you make a mistake, like I just did, split the yarn, and that can make your yarn get stuck. It's easier just to undo back to the start. 2, 3, 4, yarn over, pull through all the loops. So I've now got 3 puffs, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, sorry, yarn got stuck, 4, cotton got stuck then in the ball. It's usually why I prefer using the DMC Natura ones, which is this one, because you can pull the yarn from the centre, the cotton from the centre, and it doesn't get stuck anywhere near as often anyway. So 1, 2, 3, 4, pull through, chain 1. So now you've got 6 puffs in the centre. Check to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then with this short one here, pull that nice and tight. Now you could just trim that off, it's unlikely to come undone, but I tend to leave it and I'll just weave it in a little bit more at the end, because it is going to go through the washing machine, obviously, a few times. Then what you want to do is the chains that you did at the beginning, is you're going to slip stitch into the 3rd chain. So to slip stitch, put your needle through the stitch. Oops, it's hard to do with the camera in front of me. Pull through, and then pull straight through that one. That's now your slip stitch. So on the next round, we want to go from 6 to 12 puff stitches, but we want the puffs to be in between the puffs from the previous round. So to get over to here, if we did our chain here and then puff there, you'd have a big loop, a big gap. So just slip stitch over, so go into the top of that one, slip stitch. That now moves you to this stitch, and slip stitch again into that one and pull through. That now gets the base of your chain at the top of that puff stitch there. So we're going to chain 3 again. 1, 2, 3. And again, when you yarn over to the first one, just do it 3 times, because this will count as part of your puff stitch. So I'm just going to do 1, 2, oops, I make cotton stuck again, 3, yarn over and pull through top of your puff, and just finish it off with a chain. So then into the same one again, there, yarn over, this time 4 times. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I have done it before when I've been running out of cotton. I've just done it with 3 in the puff stitch instead of 4, but 4 just makes it nice and fluffier. It's a lot softer. Another reason I like the DMC Natura cotton is it just feels softer than the others, and it is slightly thicker. I think it's actually classed as an Aran weight. So again, all I'm doing now, if you're happy with that, you know how to increase to keep going all the way around, you can do. There's only 3 rounds in this, that's obviously round 2. So I've got 2 in that gap, 2 in that gap, and chain 1. Just in case you need to see it one more time. Yarn over, through, 1, yarn over, through, yarn over, pull up, 2, yarn over, through the loop, pull up, 3, and 1 more, 4. Hook down and pull through all of them. So it does help when you're doing this if you have the longer crochet hook, so you've got more room for all of the stitches on your hook. I do sometimes find with these, especially with the thicker stuff, that it can be difficult, especially if you're just learning puff stitch or you're new to crochet, to actually have enough room on the hook to do all the stitches. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's kind of just like any other circle, really, in that each round you increase by however many there were on the starting round. So we started with 6 and we want to increase by 6. So if you wanted to go one step further and take these from being a makeup round to something a bit bigger, like a face scrubby, which is a little bit bigger, I might have missed one on that one, is you can increase again by another 6 and take it to 18. I'm not going to on this one, but if you were, you would again slip stitch over to the start of the next gap like we did on this round, and then you would do 1 puff stitch in the first gap and then 2 puff stitches in the next gap. So that would then take you from 12 to 18. So size wise and increasing, it's exactly the same as a normal circle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, which means you should always have an even number. Really easy to see on the puff stitches whether you've missed any stitches or not, but it can be tricky on normal circles, differentiating between the chain at the start as to where to put it. Like this, for example, you don't want to go into that, that's just a chain from the previous round. So if you're unsure if you need to do any more, the easiest thing to do is count them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we're done. So we've done the chain 1 to finish that, and then we're going to go in the third chain, sorry, in the top of the chain 3 from the previous round. So 1, 2, 3, and into where you puff started. Oops, I think I crocheted a little bit tight, I couldn't get in. And again, just slip stitch. So pull through and pull through. That's now done. So just to finish it off a bit neater and differentiate the puff, chain 1, and then all you're going to do is single crochet all the way around, and that will finish it off. Obviously, you depend on if you're used to UK or English terms, that would either be a single crochet or a double crochet, because the terminology is slightly different. So if you're happy with that, all we'll be doing is single crocheting all the way around. I'll show you a bit easier. So through there, and then when you get to the gap between the puffs, you're still going into that stitch as well. So it is every stitch, you're not skipping any, not chaining over any this time, just single crochet or double crochet in every stitch all the way around. And then what we're going to do is slip stitch into that chain 1 from the beginning of the round and tie off, and that would be this completed. I don't. If you struggle seeing where you started, you could, if you wanted to, use a stitch marker, but it is quite easy to see that's where you started. On bigger projects you could use a stitch marker. You could use one on this if you're not too sure. So all the way around. Nearly there. So as you can see, it is a really, really quick make. Great for stocking fillers. You could also, if you wanted to make it easier for washing, is you could crochet a little bag to put them in, and the cotton that you've got is perfect for that sort of thing, because then the bag can go in the wash as well. So, sorry, I didn't even show you how to finish then, did I? So that's your last stitch. Chain one from the previous row there. See that? I'm going to go through there and slip stitch. So pull the yarn through and pull the yarn through again. There you go, there's your slip stitch. And then I like to just chain one, but don't go anywhere. Don't have any pretty little scissors like I'm using these. Chop your yarn off, leave a bit for sewing in at the end, and then just pull that through. That in itself will be very tight. Then what I often like to do is, just because it is going to go through the wash a few times, you want to make sure that that is secure. So just tie it in a knot. And then with your needle, to sew in the ends, and something a lot of videos always skip over, and just assume that you know how to weave in the ends, because it makes sense. But if you don't, if you are new to it, as I was not too long ago, so thread your needle, and if you go back through the stitch, and what you want to do is just sort of go backwards and forwards, weaving up and down a few times. You can do the same with that one as well. So if you go up through that one, and down through that one, and back up, only maybe need to catch, say, three or four stitches. Pull that through. I tend to do this 3 times just to make sure it's secure. So I've gone through once, and then where I've gone, you see I've gone under that stitch, and then going to weave and do the opposite going back. So I'm back to the chain there, weave through, back once more. There we go, and that hides it in, so pull that through. Oh, a bit stuck. There we go, pull it through, and then just snip it close down there. You'd then do the same with that as well, weaving through the centre. And there you have your cotton round. Now, as you can see, the cream one that I showed you at the beginning is slightly smaller. The cotton itself is a little bit thinner, and for that one, just to again show you the difference, I used a 4mm hook for that one, and I've used a 4.5 for this one. So that's my 4mm hook. See it on the back there, and that's a 4.5. So that's probably the size of a traditional cotton pad, and that's a little bit bigger. Just makes it a little bit bigger and fluffy. So I hope that was easy enough to follow. Any comments or anything, just pop them in the comments box below. If you could do me a favour and subscribe. I know there's not many videos as it stands at the moment, but it would help spur me on for one. And if you just like the video, anything else that you'd like to learn, pop it in the comments so I can consider it for the next video, as this is a request from the sort of eco community that lots of people wanting to make their own, and there aren't very many easy videos out there. So I hope that was easy. I hope that was helpful. Give me a thumbs up if you wouldn't mind, and good luck. I would love to see what you've got. I'll pop a link to the Facebook page below. I always love to see if you've made anything from videos. I used to love doing it when I started as well, so it'd be great to see them. Thanks very much. Cheers, bye.